Welcome to Obsession Engineering and welcome to Oulton Park for the first race of the season. So we've got a few bikes in the awning behind me. Let's go and have a look what we're doing. So basking in the Oulton Park sunshine, which is a rarity, is my BMW sort of super stock bike with a few non-super stock bike bits on for this weekend. Right, the Aprilia Supertwin, the awesome little RS660, and as you can see, it's not been painted yet. So I've put a number board on it, not especially well. I've put a couple of stickers on it, and that is ready to go. Did a practice day yesterday, did 4 sessions on the BM, 2 on the Aprilia, and I'm just over a second slower on that so far than I was on the CF Moto that I'd raced for 2 years on race tyres in a race, and that was still on its track day tyres on a test day, so that is looking pretty good. Right, coming down here, an RS660 with actual paint on it. So this is the McCrum's Motorcycles bike, and Eric, our usual favourite teammate, is riding that. He is, you know, enjoying himself. The big modification he's made so far is he's down there, he's put his Bitubo steering damper on, so now it doesn't do the twitchy thing over the crests and stuff, which is apparently much nicer to ride. So he's testing that before Cookstown in a couple of weeks. I'm just testing everything. And then Martin is in the back of there, and Andy and Sarah are over there. So we've got a good little party going on. Martin loves being on camera. Luckily, to stop me coming videoing too much, he's got the worst awning colour in the world for video. So he's got his ZX6, which has been in the workshop this winter, and it's got some head work, some cams, and some bit of refresh work and stuff. And so that is decidedly quicker than last year. And then his BMW, which looks considerably better not in this awning, has a cool new colour scheme, so that looks tip-top. And Martin is actually going quite quickly at the moment, but he won't talk to me because he doesn't like the camera. Isn't that right, Martin? Martin! Regular viewers may remember Andy and Sarah from when I raced at s1000rr at Cadwell. Well, they're racing their s1000rrs at Oulton Park because they've never been here before and they wanted to have a ride around.
It's a fantastic track, really interesting to learn, so many corners.
2 of the nicest prepared s1000rrs you'll see, and that's about it. Right, so that's the fleet. It's a one-day race meeting because Oulton Park doesn't really run on Sundays. We had a test day Friday, today is Saturday, and the big bike is out in the open class and power bike, so that's 2 different races. The twin is out in the Supertwin class. So I'm looking forward to riding today because it's Oulton Park in the sunshine, which is always mega. Hopefully you can hear me even with my helmet on. It's about 2 minutes to the first session. I'm out on the twin first, and the real difference for today is I've got the right tyres in it. So we're now back onto the Dunlop 213 Pro race tyre because I thought if we're going to do some chassis setup work, it needs to be on the right tyres. So let's roll out, have a lap to actually get a bit of a feel for it, and then see what it feels like. So I've done morning warm-up 4 laps on the twin, and the biggest difference in putting the proper race tyre in the front of it, or in it, is it's better on the brakes. Now that might sound a bit odd, but because the construction of the tyre is stiffer, you can put more load into the tyre without it sort of changing shape, so without it changing the feel. So putting a different race tyre in, it is a little bit different mid-corner, like a little bit more stable, like the tyre doesn't fidget as much. But the biggest difference is on the brakes, so that means I've got to push the braking markers later on that one. And in about 3 or 4 minutes I'm out on the big bike for warm-up, so I really ought to probably put my helmet on, get myself ready, because a twin warm-up, you know, gets you going a little bit. A big bike warm-up really gets you warmed up. Quick sit rep after morning warm-up with the sun in my eyes. The twin on its race tyres, I've done that bit already, haven't I? So ignore that. The BMW, I'm happy with that. Putting a new rear tyre in it, as opposed to the very, very worn Dunlop scrub I had in all day yesterday, I was half a second a lap quicker this morning, which, don't get wrong, was still not particularly quick, without having to really try, because the bike just does everything better with the new tyre in it. Turns better, it drives off the corners better, it just feels so much nicer all the time. So, still on the same scrub front, but I'm on a new rear, so that was good. Martin came past me and looked like he was going very quickly So he's on form this morning. He's woken up, it's race day, and he's feisty, whereas I'm treating morning warm-up as a warm-up. You know, it won't be too long. We'll be racing for the first time this year. Right, so Martin is just under the O of Oulton, so about there. It's a bit awkward to point at him with my finger because the perspective's a bit off. So what he needs to do is have a good start, ride around the outside of people, get his elbows out. So basically everything that Martin doesn't normally do on the first lap of a race. But this year he is looking a little bit more feisty, so you never know. Alright, look at the lights. They held them quite a long time and it was a good launch. Yeah, that's a good start, that is. Scalping 15 on the first lap is very un-Martin, so he's doing well already. Two laps in, he's still 15th, but he's on the back of a gaggle for 11th, 10th, 11th, something like that. So now we've got to see if he can improve his overtaking as much as he's improved his starts. Checkered flag is flying.
Martin finishes first race 11th. Not bad from 30th on the grid.
Right, Eric is warming the big bike up for me because the race before ours is out now, so in 5 minutes or 10 minutes or something, we'll be racing the big bikes. It'll be first race of the year. I am getting not mega nervous, not like I used to and not like I will be on Glen Country Road, but there are some nerves. The top of my mouth is kind of dry, and it doesn't matter how much you drink, it's kind of dry. So I need a good clean start, just try and get some clean laps in, just basically go and enjoy my race. Then I come back in and it's not too long before I'm then out on the twin and then back to back on the BM, so it's going to get busy, but I think we're ready. Right, let's have a go.
And then it's my turn. The roof of my mouth is dry, my nerves are jangling, my focus is on one thing, and that's going fast. It's great to be back on the bike and lining up ready to race.
Right, so I've just done the first race, and the racing motorbikes is awesome. It's that awesome that I forgot to press record the first time, so this is actually the second take. Right, I did decent start off 14, clean into the first corner, kept myself out of trouble basically. First couple of laps I snuck past a couple of people, Rob Otten come past me, and it was all, you know, it was all fairly sensible. And then obviously each lap you try and go quicker and quicker. Richard Wilson come past, Martin come past me because he'd had a blinding start, so we're going to have to change his nickname from ship start to good start, though it doesn't drive as well. Yeah, really good fun race. Started to get a little scrappy as I was trying to go faster, but I did at least go faster, so that was okay. In a few minutes, for 5 minutes or so, me and Eric are out on the twins, and then that's back to back with my second big bike race, so it is about to get hectic. And now we're going to stick a camera in Eric's face. Right, well, we'll redo the interview that we did about 2 minutes ago, and this time I'm actually recording it. And this time I've even framed the McCrum's Motorcycles van in the background. Factory. Like I know what I'm doing. Right, are you enjoying yourself?
Yes, good times. Yeah, first time on a bike since December.
Cracking. So, is racing motorbikes brilliant?
Of course. How dare you ask such a question?
We all know it's brilliant. Even if Martin pretends it's not sometimes when he's having his job, we know it's brilliant.
We're still working on him, get him to calm down just a little bit.
Yeah.
Just take it easy.
Cool, right, 5 minutes or so, we'll go and bash elbows on Supertwins.
Yeah, on the same row, you're on the other side, so I'm sure I'll try and keep you in sight for as long as possible, but you'll disappear off, I'm sure.
That is my plan. Let's have a go.
Yeah.
After months of building, this is what it's all about. On the grid, ready to race, on the RS660. Let's see if I can get a decent start. Actually, not a bad getaway. The traffic into the first corner got a bit interesting though, and a few people slipped past, including Eric. So then it's just a case of getting my head down, hitting my lines, trying to go fast, and overtaking as many people as possible. Ooh, look! An Eric! I'd best not knock him off, though. Swapping from the BMW to the Twin was fairly straightforward because everything happens a little bit slower. Getting back on the BMW though took me a little bit to get into, and in that little bit of time I got mugged. A lot! After a couple of laps I did get my head down and got some reasonable laps in. It's fair to say it wasn't the best race I've ever done, but it was definitely better than sitting on the sofa at home.
I'm warm, just taking my helmet off, 2 races back to back, and it feels like I've done 2 races back to back. The Twin, it you know, the warm-up lap and a bit of the first lap to sort of get into it. But it's all right because it's a bit slower, so it's easier to process what's going on and you've got a bit more time to think about it. Not the best start, and I went, because I was outside the grid, I went round the outside of the first corner, and everybody else went inside, and it didn't really work. The nice thing is, though, I did get to watch Eric riding round for a bit. I may apologise to him for nearly T-boning him at the chicane. And then just got my head down a little bit. But the problem is, because we were behind the pre-injection 600s, once we got scrapping with them, the difference in the bikes is quite noticeable, and it's awkward because they're fast in some places and I'm fast in some places, and it was a little bit awkward, and I've got no idea what happened to the other twins. I don't know where I was, and I was just basically stuck in traffic in old 600s that smoke at you. So, good fun though, and the bike's working well. I'm going to make a couple of tweaks, but we're going okay. Then I jumped straight on the BMW, so literally pulled in, paddock standing one bike, jumped on the second one, straight out, and then recalibrating from 95 horsepower to 200 horsepower took a little bit longer. And it's fair to say that the power bike lads on the first lap are a bit more brutal. My start was a bit steady, and in the first lap I just got murdered because I'm trying to, you know, get the feel for the bike again. And yeah, so the first, actually really, two and a half laps, I was just getting mullered. And my lap times were nearly 2 seconds off what I was doing this morning, or doing earlier. And yeah, so that was not a good race. The last lap and a half was passable, the rest was just chaos. But now we get to chill, have some lunch, get result sheet from all 3 races, and breathe. Yeah, going alright then, Sam?
Yes, going alright in that one. A little bit held up, as everyone says. Got all the races, excuses, worn tyres. No, I really enjoyed that one, mate. Really good. Didn't go as fast in that one as I did in the first one. But I was 28th on the grid because, I don't know, I was 28th on the grid and I finished second. So, not bad.
That's acceptable, isn't it? Yeah.
That's acceptable. Yeah, absolutely loving the new BMW. It's amazing. I overtook 2 people into Island Bend. No, 3 now, and I've never done that before. In 14 years of racing, I've never overtaken into Ireland. And this new bike can just do this straight away. Just throw it in 5th gear. Throw it in. Fucking incredible. So later on today, I'm having a massive crash at Island Bend in 5th gear.
Right, so I'm just heading to pit lane to watch Martin's second 600 race. I have had my lunch, but you've got to keep your sugar levels up, you've got to keep your energy up on a race day. So I recommend a nice cinnamon iced bun. Lovely. Right, so Martin is somewhere about there-ish, somewhere? Oh, I don't know. Anyway, there's enough of this motorbike stuff, there's still a cinnamon bun to be eaten. Well, he seems to be getting those starts better. Right then, cinnamon bun update, it's gone. So now we're just waiting on actual motorbikes. It's not a bad day really, is it? Motorbikes and cinnamon buns. Right, I can hear them coming, and the first bikes are just getting into the lodge corner now. So how far back or how far forward will Martin be? 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 9. Right then, the checkered flag is flying. Here comes the leader. And I think the lads first and second are actually stock 600 BSB boys. That's 4th. It gets a bit confusing because there is a few riders getting lapped. Where's he gone? There we go. That looked entertaining, Martin. It's alright, go on, pretend. That's it, too cool for the camera, he wishes. Right, so, focusing on his bike, behind the fire point, looking at the important stickers, it was good fun, the bike's worked well, he's had quite a lot of work over winter. The bike seems to have worked alright, I think that was 12th again, but some back markers on the last lap. He seems generally happy. We do need to sort the quick shifter though, because that's been playing up, so we'll throw that one away and put an HM on it. And it has been getting a little bit warm because he's been the entire race behind somebody. But all in, not a bad first outing for it this year. So a bit of a sit rep on mine since the last races. I've put fuel in them, I've checked the tyre pressures again. On the BMW, I've tried a little bit more ride height in the rear and stiffened the forks up a little bit, and I'm hoping that just makes it a little bit better, a little bit more accurate on some of the fast corners, because that's where I'm losing my time at the moment. You know, nothing massively different, but a reasonable change, so it's a little bit of try and see. So that one's set to go. Then on the twin, I've sort of almost done a similar thing. I've dropped the forks to a little bit more, again to try and get it just a little bit more accurate in a couple of the real fast places, because again, I think that's where I'm losing the time. But there is a theme here of I lose time in the same places on both bikes, so you could quite easily argue it's the rider, not the bike, so I am working on that as well. But if I can get the bike to do some of the work for me, then it should be better. So that's had fuel, tyre pressure check, bit of a geometry change, but not massive amounts of work done to it. Eric has put petrol in his, because he seems happy. That's about it. The next thing to do is go racing again. So it is Martin and me out on the big bikes in a few minutes, then a little break and I'm out on the twin with Eric. But then I should be going straight back out from the twin to the big bike. But this morning, that second, like the third race or whatever on the big bike, it was a bit scrappy, because my first sort of lap and a half I was in Supertwin mode, not in big bike mode, and basically because my first corner and my first lap and a half are bad, and that's when the most action's happening, I've decided that I might not do that one, because my transition to the bike just isn't quick enough, and especially the first lap, if I'm in the way, not quite into my apexes and stuff, that's easy to get collected, and that's a bit pointless. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go out, enjoy riding it in the open race. Yeah, I think the open race is first. Then I'll go out and enjoy that, and then that'll about do it. Hopefully it'll be smiles all round. Time to go racing. Let's have it! Martin thinks I'm an idiot. He might be right.
Being as I broke the camera mount on the BMW just before I went out, this is actually footage from an earlier race. In the actual race I got an average start and average first corner, and then when I tried to go a bit faster, realised my chassis changes hadn't really helped.
Well, there's nothing wrong with that Dunlop rear tyre, so I can't blame that. What I can blame for that slightly disappointing performance was the setup change I did made the bike just a bit nervous. So on the brakes where I used to be really good, it was just sort of pitching a bit too much. And then one lap, it pitched way too much, and I had to abort mission and go through the chicane. It's one of those, if the straight on bit through the bollards and bits, if that wasn't there, I might have committed to the corner, but I might not have made it round, so I thought I'd be sensible. Yeah, just a little bit scrappy, a little bit slower than earlier. Yeah, it was alright, just not the best race ever. I mean, it's still considerably better than not going motorbike racing, just not perfect. The next thing though is the twin, so I've got probably 10 or so minutes, and then I get to go ride around on that, and that is cool. Right then, Eric, are you ready and prepared and feisty and ready to go and excitable and...
Yes.
Having put in a good lap time in the first race, I was starting 5th on the grid, so I can see the leaders and I can definitely see the lights. I got a decent start, but then I might have hit the rev limiter and cost myself a little bit of momentum, and then got mugged again in the first corner. But it's okay, I've got 8 laps, I've got plenty of time to make it up. So all I've got to do is get my head down, hit my lines, clear a few pre-injection 600s out the way, and then go hunting twins. As the race unfolded, I was pegging back Steve Moody, who was the leading twin. Bit by bit I was clawing him back, and then Dave Carson decided to get involved as well, and it turned into a right little humdinger of a race. Unfortunately then they put the red flags out, and we had to stop. But it was brilliant fun while it lasted.
And I think we ended up with 3 Super Twins in a row, and we started dicing and it was turning into good fun, and unfortunately they put the red flag out. And the thing is, I know I had a bit of spare pace. It was, you know, that thing where I just know I can go faster, and I was just chipping away, everything was working, and I had that thing where I went, yeah, I can have a dice at this, I can have a go at this, and they put the red flag out, so I never got the chance. And I mean, I'm fairly sure everybody else who was dicing had that same thought, but yeah, that was brilliant fun. Motorbike racing's brilliant. If you don't go motorbike racing, you really should try it. It's great. Yeah, I knew you weren't the red flag, but you still had me worried for a minute. You know how I worry, Eric?
I have form after all.
You do, yeah. At least you've come back with more than a dashboard this time.
Second race, mega. First race, I still like trying to get my head round it.
It's been really good. Really enjoyed it. Very friendly club.
Cool.
Yeah, fantastic.
Seldom seen in nature, the motorcycle racer, static. We normally see them in motion, but this one is preparing for battle. Undoubtedly tindering, because that is his hobby when not controlling a motorcycle at breakneck speeds. You ready, Martin? You having it?
Having it.
So here we go. This is the final race of the day. Craig Neve, Bob Collins, Sam West in the middle of those three, so that's your front row, and then Max Simmons and a selection of people I don't know. And there's Martin, just there, in the middle of that row. So hopefully he gets a decent start and can tag on the back of some boys who are just that little bit quicker and tow him along. If he got a PB in this one, he would be less miserable. Yeah, you were seventh in that one, so it was all right. Good ride, that.
You film it, Dave?
Yeah.
Blossom in my crackers.
Of course. Got to impress the ladies somehow, haven't we? That is my winner's trophy on my little Aprilia, because I won the first race of the day, and then in the red flag second race I was second, but they might have accidentally given my trophy to the wrong person. So I should have a second place trophy to go with my winner's trophy, but I don't. But to be fair, the winner's trophy is the important one. So I'm quite pleased with this winner's trophy. You know, it might not be the fanciest thing in the world, but it's mine, and I won it, and it says winner on it, which is pretty cool. So that's it, we're nearly packed up and it's ready to go home. We've had a good time at Oulton Park. Has everybody had fun? Yay! Oh, thank you for watching, and join us again next time for some more motorbike fun.